Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to make a start on our new colour along. So I'm going to be using the Arteza 120 set because I know a lot of the people that are following the colour alongs have got them. So this is from Rita Berman's new book, Her Tour Through Europe. And this is the page that everybody chose on Instagram and on YouTube. So I thought we'd go ahead and make a start with this today. So the first colour that I'm going to use is Amethyst Purple, and I'm going to use this to go around sort of the little bits in the background that would be a little bit darker because they'd have a bit of shade on them from the houses and things like that. So I'll just go ahead and zoom you in a little bit. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start here, so where the darker parts would be from the shadow of the houses. And I'm just going to go ahead and just darken this up and then lift the pressure as I come up towards the top so that we can blend it out a little bit easier. So just a bit more pressure down here and then just lift as you start to come up towards the sky. So I'm going to do this all around these little houses. Like so. So I'll carry on. So this bit under here I'm going to do all with a bit more harder pressure because it would be darker because it's in shadow from everything. And then we'll do some darker bits here coming up to a lighter pressure. And the same for this bit here. So next, taking violet, we're going to go ahead and blend out where we've just done this darker purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the top of the amethyst purple and then just bring that colour slightly further up. So you can use a bit harder pressure when you're going over the purple. And then again, excuse me, and then again just start to sort of lift the pressure at the end where you're going to blend it into the next colour. And you can always go back over and add more colour or more pressure, but it's harder to take it away, so I find it a little bit easier to go in with light pressure first and then sort of add to it if you need to. You just want to do sort of circular motions as well so that when you do come to blend it with the next colour, there's no sort of harsh lines there. This bit I'm going to go ahead and fill in completely down here because that would all be a bit darker. And then we'll just start to go over this bit here by the flag. And what I like to do is sort of make it so that it's not like a straight line, so it's kind of like a wobbly line, and then it's easier to sort of blend the next colour in. Next I'm going to take Purple Iris and I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to go over where we put the violet and then just sort of take it a little bit further up into the background. So we'll do the same for this bit here. So we'll just sort of take it over the last colour that we did and then work it up towards the sky. So I'm just going to use light pressure here and just make some kind of random skyline and then just fill that all in. And then I'm just going to go over to darken it up and then just lift the pressure as you get to the top. Okay, so next going in with Lilac, we're going to use this as the top half. So I'm going to go ahead again and go over the last colour that we put in. And then go ahead and fill the rest of the area in with the lilac colour. And with this being the lighter colour, you can go over and sort of get any sort of parts that you might have missed or that you haven't quite got close enough. So like here, I'm just going to go ahead and fill in any little bits that I've missed. You can go back over anywhere that you want to add a bit more colour. So that's how it's looking at the minute. So I'll just bring you back in and then I think we'll add some Posca pen to this just to make it look a little bit more like a sky. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some little dots in. So I'm going to go over the ones that Rita's put in first. I'm just going to go around this one because it's quite a big one. So I'll just go over the line and then leave the colour coming through. And then I think we'll add some random dots in. And a few little tiny ones just dotted around. And the thing is with the Posca pen, when it dries, it'll sort of soak up the colour from behind. So as you can see, that one's already going like a pinky colour. So you might have to go over again and do an extra layer to make it really white. Or if you like it looking a little bit pinky, you can leave it like that. Okay, so next we're going to move on to this, like sort of tower. And for this, I'm going to use turquoise 604. And I'm going to start adding some colour to this. So I'm going to go ahead and do like the top and the right hand side with quite hard pressure. And then I'm going to lift the pressure as we come towards the left hand side. And then taking our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and go over where we've left the lighter part. So this will just blend it together and then just slightly lighten it up as well. Next, taking Shamrock Green. So this is slightly darker than the turquoise. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it for these bits here. So I'm going to go ahead and put more pressure on the right hand side and along the top. So I'll just go straight along the top now and get that all filled in. And then just go down the right hand side. And then I'm going to lift the pressure as I come across. And just fill the rest in with slightly lighter pressure. And then going back in with our white, I'm going to do the same. So sort of go over the left hand side and blend it together. And then if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can go back in with your shamrock and just darken up them edges. Next, taking Peony Pink, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the bottom half of the tower. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. And then using Fruit Punch, I'm going to add a little bit of shade to that. So I'm going to shade here where it meets the sort of top of the roof. Just darken that up a little bit. And then I'm going to shade down this side edge here. And under here would be a bit darker. Next, taking Pink Macaroon, which is an even lighter shade, I'm going to fill in the doorway. Then taking Jasmine Yellow, I'm going to fill in the inside of the door, so where the light would be coming out. Oh, and I forgot the little bits on top, So we'll go back in with Fruit Punch and I'll fill in the first little ball. And then we will go back in with Turquoise and just fill in the little bits on top here. This little ball. There we go. And now he all matches. Okay, so next we're going to make a start on this one, and for this I've chosen lime green. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do sort of like the edges of this. So for example on this one I'm going to fill in all the way around the edges. And then in the middle I'm going to leave like a little patch where the light's catching it. And then inside that patch I'm going to go ahead with lemon yellow and fill that in. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for the others. Okay, so next going back in with lime green, I'm going to go ahead and add a few more details. So I'm going to go and do sort of like the edges here and the edge of this bit. And then I'll do the same for these, so sort of work it around the side edges. And here. And then going back in with the lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in the middle sections. Taking jasmine yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the windows. And up here. And then I'm going to go back in with lime green to fill in around these little windows. And I'll fill in all the little details that are coming off and into the sky. And then I'm going to use lime green and just light pressure to do a base coat on the underneath bit of the house. And then taking absinthe green, which is a slightly darker colour, I'm going to go ahead and add some shade into this. So I'm going to shade here where the top of the roof would be casting a shadow down. And you just want to lift the pressure as you come down to blend that out with the lighter colour. So do the same for this bit here. And then I'm just going to slightly darken up the bottom as well. And again, just lift the pressure as you come up towards the top. This bit here would all be darker, so I'll fill that in darker. And then going back in with lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and start on these little poles. So I'm just going to do a base coat and fill them in completely. And then going in with sunflower yellow, I'm going to add some shade to these little poles. So again, I'm going to shade the top and the right hand side. And then I'm going to shade down here along the right hand side of the pole as well, and just lift the pressure as you come over to blend it all together. And I think I might use this colour to darken up the little windows because they look a little bit too similar. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the windows with this colour as well. Oops. And then taking turquoise, I'm going to fill in these little dots that are on there, just so that it brings an element of a different colour into it. I'm just going to fill this one in as well. I'll go over these ones. Okay, so that's 2 of our little houses complete. So I think we'll do this one next. So I'm going to go in with fuchsia, and I'm going to do the roof with the fuchsia pink. So what I'm going to do is fill in this top piece here. And then I'm going to do every other one in this colour. And then taking eggplant purple, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the other ones. Next, going back in with sunflower yellow, I'm just going to fill in the little window that you can see peeking. And then I'm going to use the same colour as what we used on this one. So I'm going to go in with peony pink and just do like a little base on the bottom of here. And then we're going to go in with fruit punch to do our shading. So I'm going to do the shading just under where the roof meets and along this right hand side, because this would be casting a bit of a shadow here. So we'll just be left with a little bit of lighter colour in the middle. And then for the flag, I'm going to use turquoise so that again it matches. And I'm going to do a little base coat on the flag. Then going in with our darker colour, which is Shamrock Green, I'm going to go ahead and darken up where it meets the pole. And then these edges here, so it'll be the middle that we leave a little bit lighter. And just to make it even more lighter, I'm going to go over with white quartz. So just in the middle here, just add a little bit of white quartz, just to really lighten that up. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with our Posca pen because as you can see where I've put the white dots, they have gone really pink. So I'm just going to go over these again and just make them a bit more white. Just so that they really stand out a bit more. Sometimes you do find that you do have to do more than one layer to get them to stand out. Just going to go around this one as well. And I'm just going to add some more in between the houses. Now for this one here, I'm going to go ahead and add a little highlight in the middle of the flag, and then I'm going to make a highlight all the way down this left hand side, and I'm going to do the same here, so just a little tiny white highlight on the left hand side where we left the lighter colour. We'll do the same here. And again for this one, I'm just going to run a tiny little highlight down the left hand side on there, and then the right hand side on this side. And I'm just going to do some little reflective lines in the windows and the door here. Do a tiny one on that window. And we'll add a little bit of reflection there. Okay. So I think we'll stop there. So this is obviously part one. So I'll bring it up so that you can see all of the little highlights that I just added in. And then what we'll do next time is we'll carry on and do more of the houses and just work our way through the picture. So I'll just zoom you out a little bit so that you can see how it's looking from a distance. There we go. Okay, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Sunday where we will continue working on this. See ya!